Twinkies, welcome back to Twin Flicks, where we always here celebrating magic movies and physical media with you. So today we're talking about my all-time favorite Oliver Stone film that finally got a 4K UHD, and that is Born on the 4th of July from 1989. Now, I believe over a decade ago, Universal released the Blu-ray here. Now, when Born on the 4th of July was announced from Shout Factory with this 4K, and also Oliver Stone posted, if you follow him on his social media, then you know that he's been working with Shout Factory. So he had hands-on supervision with the entire restoration and color grading process. And that made me really excited because last year when Shout Factory released this, JFK on 4K, this is beyond a night and day difference. Here are some shots right here with the comparison between the 4K and the Blu-ray. This is completely redone, restructured back to the theatrical, or as close to the theatrical appearance and Oliver Stone's intended vision of the film. So yeah, I had a lot of high hopes for Born on 4th of July on 4K. And yes, this is from a 4K restoration from the original 35mm negative with HDR10 and Dolby Vision grading, and this also comes with a new Dolby Atmos mix. Alright guys, so let's get to why we're here, and that is comparing this 4K UHD of Born on 4th of July against Universal's previous Blu-ray release and see if this 4K is really worth the upgrade. Born on the 4th of July has stark improvements, crafting a stunning and beautiful 4K presentation. Now first, I just have to talk about the Vietnam scenes. I mean, just look at the differences here between the 4K and the Blu-ray. The 4K carries that hot orange hue, signifying the blistering hot days on the beach. The Blu-ray looks like a magenta filter was laid over the image, or the orange hue was dulled down significantly. According to Oliver Stone, this was not how these scenes were supposed to look. This magenta filter, or if they did dull down the orange, really takes a lot away from the image. These scenes are now accurately displayed the way Oliver Stone and his DP, Robert Richardson, wanted us to see them. The use of HDR10 and Dolby Vision grading really improves the quality by opening up the color gamut much wider. The first area I noticed is how brightly lit the image is now, which is a major leap over the Blu-ray that did carry a very hazy, dim look to it. All these shots just look incredible, breathing new life into the image with much more depth and detail, and the colors look very nuanced. It's apparent that Oliver Stone and Richardson used different color schemes for each time period in Ron's life. The 4K scan not only does the film justice, but also gives the Oscar-nominated cinematography its due. Now, the black areas is another area the Blu-ray really struggled with. It's always had its problems with some heavy crushing out of details, and also when I compare the two formats, I noticed some slight grayish or bright blacks in certain areas here and there. Now the black levels are on point with this 4K. We have those beautiful, deep, truer inky blacks and stronger shadow details, even going as far as pitch black in certain areas, with zero crushing out of details. I did notice a couple shots where some slight ringing around the edges occur, but this is more likely due to being inherited from the source material and not from a poor transfer. I also noticed the black levels with the HDR10 and Dolby Vision applied gives the image more depth and draws out more information in the image now. But now let's jump into the overall image quality, and it is spectacular. The higher 2160p resolution really gives a very pleasing and attractive looking image, with plenty of distinction from detailing of clothing, hair, facial features, with imperfections, complexions, especially with those tight close-up shots of Tom Cruise. And there's plenty of Tom going on throughout this film. These tight close-ups are sharp, revealing skin texturing that looks very lifelike. The 4K scan handles Robert Richardson's varied cinematography style with ease. As we talked about, the sequences during the Vietnam War scenes are very chaotic, and the camera whips and pans with a lot of built-up tension and anxiety, showing the confusion of the sequences. The previous Blu-ray seemed to struggle a little bit with this, trying to keep up with the action. I also love the bitrate here on this 4K. It's high, ranging between the higher 80s, and I saw it go up as high as 112 Mbps. And yes, the 4K is on a 100 gigabyte disc. The grain structure is also handled much better here on the 4K. It looks tighter and better resolved, unlike the previous Blu-ray that had some really heavy, chunky grain at times that looked muddy. And also I noticed a little bit of frozen grain here and there. Now we have a excellent, organic, natural 35mm beautiful filmic appearance. Alright guys, now we're going to get into the audio of this 4K UHD from Shout Factory. And as I mentioned at the top of this video, Born on the 4th of July received a new Dolby Atmos mix. The Dolby Atmos mix was sourced from the original 4-track that was also used for the 5.1 mix on the previous Blu-ray. Now the first area that stood out to me was John Williams' powerful score that completely immerses you deep into the film. The chaotic gunfire and explosions in the distance during the Vietnam scenes is more aggressive and chaotic, with outstanding movement and object placement, moving around in a full 360 degrees, really immersing you, putting you in the scene. The low ends also offers plenty of punch and weight and oomph to the bass levels that will definitely give your subs and home theater a nice workout during these scenes. Dialogue is reproduced flawlessly, and I also heard some off-screen dialogue coming from the right and left channels. Alright, so my score for Shout Factory's 4K UHD presentation of Born on the 4th of July, I'm giving this one a resounding 5 out of 5 for video and audio, and definitely proves the power of what 4K and Dolby Atmos can really do. Alright guys, well now I want to hear your opinion here because hey, I care. Head over to the comment section and let me know when you look at the differences here between the previous release Blu-ray and this new 4K UHD, which do you like better? Or do you see much difference at all? Head over to the comment section and let me know. Alright guys, well thanks so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes here as we talk about and take a closer look at the 4K UHD presentation of Born on the 4th of July from Shout Factory. Let's get this Blu-ray out of the way. As always guys, keep physical media alive and stay tuned for another 4K versus Blu-ray comparison.